My millionaire father left his entire fortune to whichever of us had the fewest social media followers, and my siblings instantly turned into rabid animals trying to scrub their internet existence. But they don't get the real punchline of this twisted little game. When Dad died, nobody cried in that stuffy, air-conditioned lawyer's office. I know that sounds incredibly cold and awful to say out loud, but honestly, the real grief had already drained out of me months ago while sitting in a sterile room smelling of bleach and cheap cafeteria coffee, watching the machines do the breathing for a man who didn't even recognize my face anymore. The lawyer opened the will, and my older brother Brandon already had this smug, exhausting little smirk on his face, the same face he's made for years whenever he talks about his future inheritance, like it was some corporate promotion he'd put overtime in for. While my sister Maya sat right next to him, her face illuminated by the harsh blue glow of her phone screen as she mindlessly scrolled Instagram. Even in front of our dead father's legal documents, she couldn't stop looking at a screen. Then the lawyer cleared his throat, adjusting his glasses with this excruciatingly slow deliberation, and read the clause. Mr. Hayes has left his entire estate to the child with the fewest social media followers. The room went dead silent, except for the faint, annoying haptic clicking sound coming from Maya's phone before she froze completely. My father absolutely loathed what the internet did to our family. Every single Sunday dinner we ever had was held hostage for content. Every family vacation became a staged photo shoot where we had to pretend to laugh on cue, and Maya literally stopped us from cutting my 16th birthday cake for 20 minutes because the lighting wasn't cinematic enough. Dad never screamed or threw fits about it. He just sat at the end of the table, nursing his black coffee, watching them with these tired, heavy eyes, and clearly, he remembered every single second of it. At the time the will was read, Maya had 280,000 followers, Brandon had around 90,000, and I had exactly 312 people following a private account I haven't updated since college. Not 312,000, just 312 human beings. The twist climax. Suddenly, my siblings completely lost their minds and panicked. Brandon started frantically deleting accounts, setting up shell profiles, and screaming at the lawyer about privacy laws, while Maya spent 3 days straight on the phone with her management team trying to figure out how to legally suppress her metrics. It would have been hysterical if it wasn't so profoundly depressing to watch them care more about losing online engagement than losing their actual, literal father. But then the hammer dropped. The lawyer ran a forensic audit on Brandon's accounts because his follower count started dropping by tens of thousands overnight, and the investigation proved that Brandon had spent the last 5 years secretly buying bot networks and fake profiles to look important to brands. Once the legal team filtered out the ghost accounts, his actual, authentic follower count collapsed to nearly zero. The guy who built his entire masculine identity around being a high-status influencer was suddenly less relevant than a spam bot. Yesterday, the lawyer handed me a sealed envelope with Dad's messy, trembling handwriting on the front. Inside was just one sentence. The child with the fewest followers was always the one who actually sat by my bed. My hands are still shaking while I'm telling you this because Brandon is currently telling the extended family that I manipulated a dying man, and Maya is threatening to sue me for emotional distress, but neither of them gets it. Dad wasn't playing a cynical joke on them, and he wasn't rewarding me for being a hermit. He just designed a trap that forced them to reveal their real priorities, and they chose a glass screen over a dying father every single time.